Hello and welcome to another episode of A Brief History. Today's episode, the French and Indian War. More specifically, the Battle of Quiberon Bay. Ready, set, go. 1752 to 53. Property issues in the United States caused rising tension between France and Great Britain. This leads the UK to send out George Washington, yes, that George Washington, to surprise attack the French in one of their bases and create Fort Necessity, thus starting a near-decade domino effect to a war known as the French and Indian War. The first couple of years, these being 1754 to 1756, were just rising tension and drama about who owned Fort Necessity. It wouldn't be until May 8, 1756 until the French declared war on the UK. At first, the two countries seemed to be evenly matched, but over the course of 1758, the UK won several small victories that disabled the French further and further. Enter the Battle of Quiberon Bay. This was the tipping point of the war that basically made it clear that the UK would win. The battle was an invasion on France that took out a massive majority of their ships, some of which even arming over 100 cannons. The next few years after this event basically was winding down. The British befriended the Indians, who sided with the French during the heat of the war, and on February 10th, 1763, the Treaty of Paris was signed and the war was over. However, the effects of it weren't. There we go. That was good. A few months later, the UK decided to create the Proclamation of 1763 to further tax colonists in order for them to regain their war debts at a faster rate. More and more taxes kept on being added, making the colonists even more frustrated with the king. One thing leads to another, and soon enough, on April 18, 1775, the colonists declared war on the UK, with the colonists being led by George Washington.
Yes, that George Washington.
They eventually won and established modern America. Isn't history funny that way? Thanks for watching, guys. DFTBA. 1752 to oh, that's pretty hard to say. Okay. 1752 to 1752 to property issues in the United States caused rising tension between thus starting a near-decade domino effect known as the first couple of years, these being 1754 to 1750. The battle was an invasion of France that took out massive property of. I did not say that right, and I read the different line. Okay. The British befriended the Indians who sided. The British befriended the British befriended. This is a tongue twister. The British befriended. The British and soon enough, on April 18th, 1755, it was 20 years off. Okay.